my screen. Her smile, it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene. In the morning or the night, recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. Every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong.
Battles got power, Florabella stands tall. Every drip, every drop, watch the haters fall. Channel sharp as thorns, ain't taking no mess. Scroll through her feet, feel that queen's finesse. Vines tangle tight, but Flora breaks free. Roots so deep, can't mess with her tree. From the mud she rises, roses from the dirt. Every comment section she lays down hurt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. From the garden green to the concrete wall, Florabella, unstoppable nature's child. Leaves whisper secrets, she's the loudest shout. From the channel buzzing, she never backs out. Seed of strength, through seasons she grows. In the face of doubt, her spirit glows. Cameras ain't a limit, she branches out. Thorns in her crown, she wears it no doubt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless.
Talk to someone else, cause I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boys. I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boy. No, I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to. That nigga's crazy. Hopping in, bitch, and I start to beat. Snakes in the grass, so they harder to see. My brother would give up his life to the O. He told me he'd go be a martyr for me. Said that she ready to corner the 6. I hit up Pauline and charter the P. Ain't really leave, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm riding around in Atlanta with sad, cause that nigga been going harder than me. Nothing to change, I'm just harder to please. Ferrari is making an SUV. We ain't got a choice, we ordering these. Shout out Noel for recording the V's. He know where this shit about to go. Cause nobody touching the flow. They say you alone at the top, but it's gotta be lonely below. You plus getting ready to diss, but don't even mention the hoe. And don't even mention the foe, unless you was trying to go broke. Whoa, I got more stripes than Adidas. Yeah, I got the stripes for fuck.
Florabella on my screen, her smile it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene, in the morning or the night. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. Every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong.
All right, good evening, guys. Good evening. Apologies for the long introduction. You know, today is a work day, so I had to make sure I had everything in order before I jumped on here and we got into our latest story. All right, so today the stories that we're going to be looking at aren't necessarily just going to be body cam. In one of the stories that we're looking at, there's going to be some body cam footage because, you know, when officers appear to the scene of a crime, they usually, or anything like a traffic stop, they approach somebody on the street, whatever, they turn on their body camera. So we're going to see some body camera footage on the scene of a crime, but today we're going to be doing more of like a true crime story time. We're going to look at two cases, one of them having transpired within the last year. Bianca Ellis. Okay, that case is extremely disturbing, so I just want to let people know ahead of time and give you a trigger warning. It does involve a crime against a child. It's a very bizarre case, and we're going to deep dive into it, as well as sort of get an update on where the case is today. So we're going to go into Bianca Ellis, and we're also going to look into the case of Officer Holtzclaw. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. Officer Holtzclaw. And this case was a case of an officer in, I believe, 2015 was found to be using his authority as an officer of the law to commit several acts, different acts over a long period of time against women. Um, it's sort of one of those cases where in the beginning people thought this and now some people think differently. And so I'm going to present that case sort of like what we saw in the beginning. So the the interrogation footage, the evidence from the case that was presented in the public as well as in the court, obviously in a more detailed way and all of that. And we're just going to go into sort of what was heard about this case when it first came out versus today, the information that we have today. Now, I'm going to be looking at cases from all over the spectrum in terms of eras in time, and all of that. So today, Bianca Ellis is a more recent case, and Officer Holtzclaw is an older case. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with Bianca because I found this case to be extremely bizarre. I also didn't find a lot of information about it. Okay, now, when somebody who has a mental condition attacks somebody, I think we do sort of just write it off as a loss and say, well, somebody was mentally ill and they attacked somebody, that was bound to happen. They needed treatment, yada, yada, yada. We rarely look into the details of those cases, but I actually find the details of those cases to be extremely interesting. So we're going to look into this case. This is Bianca Ellis. All right. She walked into one store and took a weapon out of there. It was just a standard kitchen knife, but she took that knife out of one establishment, walked calmly to the next with the weapon in her hand. You guys are going to see all of it. But it was just a very bizarre case. I also think it speaks to the fact that most people aren't going to be the first one to initiate an action. So if they see somebody doing something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to wait for somebody to come and catch them. They're not going to initiate like, hey, this is somebody doing something wrong. So I think it's also, it paints a picture of who first responders are, right? They run towards the danger, towards the situations that are like edgy, like to the instances of uncertainty where most people are going to be like, hey, I'm not going to check that out. Looks scary. I'm going to wait for somebody like a bigger authority is more than likely going to come and deal with this. And so all this case has like every element of that. So let's get into it, guys. Make sure that you guys are liking the stream for me. I would greatly appreciate it. What we're doing here is more so trying to have a conversation. Also, we're reviewing this in an educational way that's going to teach us something. Now, shout out to Ape Huncho. They actually put this information out there. And I just think the editing of the video and everything, it really paints the story like a picture using every element of the story, right? Like not just telling it from a newscaster's perspective and expecting them to tell the truth. Body camera and all the different security footage that tells the picture, right? That's the real story. So I just love this element. So shout out to Ape Honcho. Make sure that you guys subscribe and like that content as well. Okay, let's get into it.
It's June 3rd, 2024, and 32-year-old Bianca Ellis is captured on surveillance camera footage entering the North Olmsted police station in North Olmsted, Ohio. She's there to speak with an officer about collecting some of her property that hadn't allegedly been given to her when she was released from their custody just a few days prior on May 31st. While there, the desk sergeant tells her that the arresting officer wasn't on duty that day, and to discuss the matter further, she'd have to wait until they was. The sergeant recalls Bianca being disappointed, but nothing out of the ordinary. After learning the news, she leaves the station, but what she's about to do over the next few moments is the last thing anyone would expect. Bianca heads over the Ohio State Route 10 and makes her way to the Volunteers of America thrift store. She isn't there to buy anything, but rather is there to steal. 2 knives, specifically.
So she's in there kind of hiding in plain sight, as we can see. She's in the aisles like everybody else, shuffling through all the layers of what there is, trying to find the best, pretty much scounging through a thrift store like everybody else there is doing. Right. The only difference here is she has a nefarious motive, right? She's looking for a weapon. And as we start to look into this case and the direction that it goes, bear in mind all of this, right? Keep in mind that she's doing this, like specifically, like we're watching her going into a store for the purpose of theft, takes the weapon. She's obviously searching for it now, but she's doing these things rather cognizantly, like she's aware of what she's doing. This isn't like something that she's doing, while she's spazzed out in a psychotic rage per se, right? She's very calm. She's in there like everybody else. Nothing in her behavior is alerting people to what she's doing around her.
Strangely, no one notices that Bianca A has just stolen something, or B is now equipped with kitchen knives. Had someone spotted her at that moment in time and made the call to police, what happened next may never have occurred. After leaving the thrift store, Bianca heads next door to the Giant Eagle supermarket. And just like those in the thrift store, no one notices that she's swinging around now just one of the large kitchen knives.
So as you guys can see, she's walking by like quite a few people, right? And this is where I think the bystander effect sort of kicks in, right? This is a sociological term, and it just describes the fact that most people are waiting on a higher authority to come and deal with most things, right? They see somebody in danger, they're expecting people to call the police. Now, some people are just going to call the police, right? They're going to be that hand in it. But a lot of people are expecting that somebody else is going to take the executive action that's going to take care of whatever issue it is, right? A lot of people assume that. And it's not necessarily because they're bad people. It's not a character flaw, right? It's just the assumption that I'm in a safe place. If something's dangerous, it's going to be dealt with. And I don't have the responsibility of doing that, right? Having law enforcement, firefighters, EMT, all that, it has accustomed us to people running to our rescue, right? If something's wrong, somebody will come and deal with it. And so a lot of us feel like it's not our job, per se, to speak up when something's going on. Despite the fact that police, firefighters, everything, they say, you see something, say something, a lot of people still feel this way. Right? They feel like there's a greater authority coming and they don't have to be bothered. But I think the problem here is she's blending in plain sight. Now, I don't know if this man here is backing away because he saw her or what, but like let's pay attention to the people that are they're gonna visually see her walking into the store because this is what's happening right now.
At around 2:58 p.m.
Now, I can't tell if he is really seeing her because it's a very grainy footage, but he did. There was some hesitation there to her, right? He's coming out of self-checkout, so just pay attention. Walking up. It's,
At around 2:58 p.m.
Almost not really enough to understand what's going on. I think that's the problem. A lot of people, their brain isn't even going to register like, hey, that's a person walking with a knife, right? It's going to be like, hey, that's a person in my way. or that's a person in the store with me. The last thing anybody would assume in America, which we believe to be a very safe country, even though that's not true, nobody's going to assume that the person standing next to them in a grocery store is wielding a knife.
Bianca crosses paths with 38-year-old Margot Wood and her son, 3-year-old Julian. The pair had been out shopping for the day, doing their usual routine. As soon as Bianca spots the pair, she turns around and immediately begins to follow.
It's night down once, right? And nothing about how she physically looks or anything of that nature is alarming enough for anybody to pay attention to her. And it's unfortunate, right? Because for that mother, that's the last time she's going to be with her child while her child's alive. Right? That's the last time her world is going to feel safe. She looks like a refrigerator. She does. I'm not trying to roast like people who are shaped like refrigerators and try to make them all out to be criminals. This person who is shaped like one just happens to be a criminal. It's really unfortunate because she's just blending in. Like she's not standing out. Like nobody's paying attention to her body language, what she looks like. Nothing. People are just going about their day, assuming that they're safe. Assuming that they're safe. This is really how a crime like this happens and somebody gets away because as soon as she walked by the lady, she turned around. Realistically, all the people who were right there should have seen she had a knife, but we're all so caught up in our own lives, right? The price of food, the price of gas. There's no way you would think, hey, this person who's in this grocery store with me is gonna poke me. Where did this happen? I believe, let me see. Ohio, that's what it was. This is in Ohio. And it appears to be June 3rd. That's what the cameras say. But sometimes cameras, the dates are off. But that says June 3rd, 2024. That seems pretty relevant to when this was all, yeah, June 3rd, 2024. But this was in Ohio. I'm going to say, I didn't hear anything about this. Now, it could have easily been out there, but I could have just been distracted. I didn't hear anything about it. This is probably my first time. Today's my first time hearing about this entire case. So, and like I said, I think a lot of times when somebody in a case is deemed mentally ill, the conversations about that case sort of stop. And I don't think that they should. I think we should continue to talk about them. I think we should talk about how we got there and all that. But again, this woman is leaving the store not realizing that this is the last time her child is going to be alive with her. Frank, cut it out with the race war BS. Because if that were the case, then how many times could black folk be in the street about nonsense like this? Let's cut it out. It's unfortunate. Like she's literally, it's like a beeline right behind her, that lady and her child. Like, it's so obvious now as we're watching it because we know. But I can promise you that the people at that store, her and her child, were not in any way, shape, or form thinking that this woman was just going to come out of nowhere and attack them. You know, it was fairly random. There's still no, yeah, she, Fish, that's a woman. So she got caught not too far from the scene of the crime. You are watching a mentally ill woman um, who I don't think the mental illness has so much to do with the criminality. I think they're two different aspects of her, but she goes into a grocery store after robbing a knife from a thrift store, goes into a grocery store with that same knife, follows a woman, her 3-year-old son, to their vehicle, and then proceeds to attack them. Okay, so we're watching that woman and her 3-year-old leave the grocery store while this woman or creature, whatever, is following right beside her and her child. So she's right there. The woman is.
As Margot begins to load her groceries up in her vehicle, Bianca launches a vicious knife attack on Julian, stabbing him in the face and back. When Margot realizes what's happening, she tries to grab Julian out of the shopping cart, but as she's doing so, Bianca stabs her in the shoulder as well. The screams for help alert other shoppers, who go on to contact 911, and just moments later they arrive.
911, what is your emergency?
There's a lady with a knife stabbing somebody in the north.
Where?
The Giant Eagle.
She's stabbing somebody?
She's stabbing. She's walking
North
away.
Olmsted units, start responding to North Olmsted Giant Eagle. We have several calls of somebody with a knife trying to stab people.
There, stop.
Do you have a description of her?
Yeah, she's a black female. We got eyes on her. She's walking towards Lorraine.
Oh, she's outside now?
She's outside walking.
Okay.
With a knife in hand.
This is going to be a black female walking towards
Black
Lorraine
female
Road with a knife.
black shirt, black leggings.
All black?
All black.
Is anybody injured?
Yeah, somebody's injured. I think a kid was stabbed in the mother's building.
I'm at North Olmsted, Ohio, Giant Eagle. Someone just stabbed a kid and a lady in the parking lot.
Okay. Straight out from the main entrance?
Yeah, straight out from the main entrance.
White, black?
I'm watching him walk away right now. He's got a knife in his hand.
Okay, is it a white male or black male?
Look.
You know, so just someone in the chat a minute ago, they did misgender her, because they couldn't tell. Now I don't know why people are in this comment section right now saying there's no sound. Like, I can't hear myself. Like, this is the easiest way to get yourself banned, and now you can talk to yourself in the clouds. Like, what's the point coming here doing nonsense like that? Please do me a favor, guys, and hit the like button. We only got 7 likes. Hit the like button for me. Get me up to like 25 likes. Yeah, I could hear too. That's why I knew they were just full of nonsense. But you hear that multiple people at the grocery store in the parking lot called 911 when they heard her screaming. So,
Looks like black male.
And he stabbed the female and the child?
And a minor. Yeah, child. They're doing first aid right now.
Okay. An officer just pulled up there. And is he still walking?
Yeah, he's still walking.
Which way is he walking?
He's walking east.
Eastbound?
Eastbound.
And what's he wearing?
Black shirt, black pants.
Squad's pulling up now. Squad's pulling up now.
Get these off? So, yeah. Get that off. Good. Good. All right. Is there a halo check still on it? Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else on the face? All right.
Let's go.
Yes, always.
Yeah, it was identified later that it was a woman, and they just misgendered her because she was a rather large woman. But she didn't just walk into the parking lot and start doing that. She had basically just walked into the grocery store, and it appears she was looking for a mark, right? Looking for somebody to make her victim, and she chose this woman and her child. There's no motive. There's no reasoning, nothing that anybody can think of, not even her family. They don't know her from a can of paint. So it was a very random attack, but she did choose this woman and her child. Her child was 3 years old and passed away from this attack. But she did choose that woman and her child, and we'll never know why. But she chose that woman and her child. Yeah, she does have schizophrenia. Yes. But they're not excusing her from committing the crime. That's the tough part, right? Because she's mentally unfit to stand trial. But they're not excusing her from the crime due to, they're not saying that she committed this crime because she was mentally ill. That's not what they're saying. So I'm curious to see how the case is going to go. But yeah, the child passed away, the mom survived. And I could only imagine the terror that feels like every day. But let's continue, because the first responders, they have a hard job. They're getting to the scene where a child has been deleted senselessly. A lot of people are panicked. A lot of people don't know what's going on. It's just a very sad case. I appreciate them censoring the footage too, because a lot of times people couldn't even talk about these stories because all the footage would try to show every graphic thing, until the internet's become very censored. But now it's extremely censored, so nothing is showing, and there's no shock value. We're watching somebody's body on the ground or anything. But when the body camera arrives, they're picking the child up and putting it on the stretcher. The mom is still being treated for injuries. Yeah, that's the thing, Dodge City. Mental illness or not, she has to be held accountable for her actions. Absolutely. Whether a person's schizophrenic or not, that doesn't necessarily make you violent or a red rummer, right? It's just something that can explain sudden bouts of criminality. But this woman was just released from prison. She had gone to jail before for petty crimes and theft and things like that. And she was very aware that she was committing those crimes. So she has a certain amount of time to get ready, to become fit to stand trial. Flower, otherwise she will remain in a mental health facility for the remainder of her life. Hey, everyone is entitled. Hello. Good evening. Happy Monday. This is Ohio. So we're going to get into it. Now, I do want to still give people a trigger warning because the scene is a little chaotic. And when you see the perpetrator, it's a little disturbing as well. So it says graphic. We're not going to see anything for real, but just know that the contents of the conversation are very graphic.
Ready? Let me know when you're ready. Let's get him on the car. Here we go. All right, you ready? Ready? Ready, 3? I'm going to give it to you, 2. Get the somebody up. Go, go, go. Good. We're going to get our pads on. Okay. Medic, come in here and relieve him. Yeah, I'm back. Medic. Come in and relieve him of his chest compressor. You got this. Get him on out. Go take him to a car right now. Hey, somebody go get mom. She doesn't you see this. Ready? Here you go. Are you mom? Where are you sitting? Hey, when you
I believe the person that was being resuscitated or they were trying to do CPR and first aid on, that was a child.
Hey, son, get his name from him.
I saw it. If you saw this, come to me.
Hey, you go with those guys, Dave. Yeah.
That's all bad. We have a chest.
We have a pulse. No pulse.
Check that chest. We don't feel this.
Is that your son?
Yes.
Okay, come here. We're gonna have somebody take you to the hospital. All right? Okay, we're gonna have you take you to the hospital. Okay?
I'm parked retarded over there.
Yo, you can leave your car. Where's your keys at?
I have my keys right here.
Where's your car?
I'm taking. It's the truck that's parked facing this way.
I'm taking him. Yeah, I'll be right there. I'll get your keys, so you don't worry about it.
I went inside already.
Nice. He's good. Hey. Here.
Update on them?
Look at him. What hospital?
Can you drive can you drive squad?
Yeah.
I need you to drive.
Where's your brake release on this one here?
So put your foot on the brake.
It's on the
hit
brake.
the yellow button. Put it in drive.
Very good.
And you'll go. And then your sirens are going to be up here.
These right here?
I can't see from here. I'll get in.
Okay.
I'll get the box. Hey, give us like. You got a key on your storm?
Yeah.
This. Tell him to go to the hospital. Yeah, everything's good, Luke. Yeah. Luke, camera.
I have one.
Just go in and get cleaned up and then grab a camera. I have my keys right here. Here, I'll take it. We moved your car out of the way, that's all. I'm taking it to the hospital. All right, good idea. All right. Phone number. Voluntary, make a statement too. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that.
Well, for those of you who are just getting in and you're wondering what's happening, right? This woman and her child were shopping at a grocery store when a woman came in from a nearby thrift shop. She was wielding a knife. She was walking like nothing was happening, like she was no threat to anybody. She was just walking along until she chose that woman and her 3-year-old son to stalk into the parking lot and brutally attack. And that's exactly what she did. This is the aftermath of that. The witnesses saw, or say they heard the victim and her child screaming after they were attacked. They saw her running. All of those things are signs that she knew what she was doing. Funky says, I remember this, I think. I had never heard of it. I'm not going to lie. I had never heard this story. I had never heard of Bianca Ellis. I get that she has mental health conditions and things like that. But, this is the cost of not dealing with mental health in the world, in society, in our environments, in our communities, right? This is the cost of us ignoring the fact that some people need treatment, right, in that jail. This woman had been arrested many times before, but more recently, she had been arrested 2 days, 30. She had been released and given her belongings an hour before this attack occurred. She had been arrested on numerous occasions. She was let out on bond and then skipped some type of bond and was found in the middle of the street. I mean, it was very clear that this woman had issues. She was diagnosed with mental illness, but she was let out of prison. She did not receive treatment or anything, and she ended up doing this. She went into a thrift store, she grabbed a weapon, and she deleted a child and tried to delete the mom as well. So we're watching the aftermath. This is the crime scene after. They are still looking for her, so this is very fresh. The baby just got put in the ambulance. The mom is being worked on. That's why we're seeing a blur there, but that's pretty much what we're getting into so far. So for anybody who's wondering what we're covering right now, this is the story we're on right now.
You can go to the back. Anything you got? On this side, I hear a scream. I look back, and she's just dead. Yep, write it down. That's your pen, sir. Sir, do you have anything to do with this? I was going to say, I kind of saw a little bit of it. Do you need anything? Come on over here. You okay? It's not okay for anybody to see. All right. Name, address, date of birth, driver's license, phone number. We'll take care of this. We'll go in a little while. If you need more, we'll go back. All right? No, yeah, thank you.
Ventress, just tell me what I need to do to help, buddy.
You got any more quick work just in case?
I emptied out my cruiser from stop before I ran over here.
Yeah. Extra pen. Go.
A little bit, yeah. Okay.
Can you grab my radio cord there?
Yep.
Pull through down to my right arm.
Got it.
Thank you very much. Happened out here?
My
Does this take place out here?
Right here. Right there.
Literally right here. Right here.
Yes. Did you see this? Sean, what do you have? We got statements rolling. We got Luke washing his hands up.
So again, it's a relatively calm day at the grocery store. Most of these people were shopping. They had no idea that a crime was happening or that a woman was randomly targeted in this grocery store. Obviously, there were some witnesses nearby. That woman seems to have assisted the woman and her child during this. Now, very few people step in. Just remember, a lot of people will see, but very few people step in. Eric Peterson says this is not news. Actually, this is news, right? This is news because myself and many people have not heard about this case, had no idea that it was going on, right? This is just another testament to the fact that our mental health system is broken. There are many people who should be under supervision, whether it's by the state, a hospital, who are falling through the cracks. And they're becoming perpetrators of crimes and things because they're not receiving treatment. They're not being accounted for, right? I'm not saying that those state mental health hospitals and facilities were model facilities, but we have nothing now. Right? And this is the residual damage of that. This is what we're dealing with. This is not the first. It will not be the last. So you can try to turn this into me stealing people's content, but I'm doing a fair use review. I also have some more context. Right? This person, I believe their case is actually not even going to move forward. And I'm saying their case because I don't want to misgender her, but her case is inactive. You know, she is not going to be fit to stand trial, yet somehow they still believe that her actions were done with conscious awareness, right? That's why she still does have charges. So it would have been all over. Well, I don't think that's true, Frank. I don't think that's true. I think that the problem is there's a lot of crime, right? And people don't consume news the same way they used to. So instead of watching TV and waiting for a news anchor to decide to pick up a story on the 6 o'clock news, we have the vast internet that is just full of stories that we're being bombarded with all day. And so we're bombarded with so much, there's no room. There's no room to keep track of the day to day. This happened in June of 2024, though, so very recent.
We have, you can grab his camera. We got to secure this area right now.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah.
And just stab.
Did she say anything?
No, I didn't hear anything. I had my windows out. I didn't hear anything. All I heard was just screaming, and the lady grabbed her child up out the cart, and that's when it fell over, and they collapsed over here, and the lady just continued to walk off, and that's when everybody just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I got out. There's one guy, he said, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know. I'm going to go look." I came about halfway, and I saw her trying to get away, so I hopped in the car and chased her down.
Okay.
To almost where that white building is.
Yeah.
That's when I called 911, and like literally 30 seconds later, you guys showed up.
Okay. All right. Cool. So the kid was in a car. In the car.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it was in the car. And the car fell over.
Yeah.
Crossfire.
211, I need a car to go help the kid. He's in the first couple aisles.
Where's your cuffs? Get cuffs? Who's got cuffs?
Slow down.
Hold on. We're good.
All right. Yep.
Ken, you want me to go to the female or Giant Eagle?
Go to the female
that you have. She's in the first 3 rows, farthest north. Copy, I will be up.
You got a med kit?
Okay. Roll her on the side. You're good. Who's got a med kit?
We didn't get her up.
We have a female in custody.
Are you bleeding? Are you hurt anywhere?
That's right there.
5217, I'm out.
Let's get her up.
Hold you up, okay? Grab your other arm. We're going to lift you up, okay?
Yeah,
Stand up, okay?
1, 2, 3, stand up. Stand up. Come on.
Turn around. 14 around.
All right, let's put her in the back.
Hang on. I'm going to check her right here.
Let's go to Giant Eagle.
Okay.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Walk her back this way.
52 LO3, I got 3 units. 1719 myself at Giant Eagle. In the parking lot, third aisle, if you got EMS coming. We don't have anything here for kids. Petro, out in the parking lot. We're out in the parking lot.
Take a seat. I'm going to crank up the AC for you, okay?
We got to get some tape. Rip this off. Get any tape back here?
Tape?
Yeah.
The attack was quick, but in part deadly, because although Margot survived, little Julian would succumb to his injuries. Bianca was arrested at the scene and would end up back at the same police station she had left less than an hour before. She was subsequently charged a day later on 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of endangering children, 1 count of tampering.
No, that's the assailant. She randomly chose that baby and his mom. You know, that was a white child and his mom. They didn't know her from a can of paint. She didn't know them. She walked into a grocery store. They just happened to be there. Her child just happened to be there. She just happened to be there. It was not anything orchestrated out at all. So that lady that they just captured, she's the one who committed the horrible, horrific act. And then she just walked away. So that was the assailant. North Olmsted is a suburb outside of Cleveland. Okay, I see. No, they didn't pew her. They found the weapon, which she was attempting to throw away. Again, none of those actions are actions of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So I think that's also why they still pursue charges. But yeah, she's the assailant. She got an insanity plea. They probably gonna retry her though. She did not. And we're gonna go into what she got, which I totally understand why people think that. They think there's only one, one type of way mental illness is dealt with in court. There is not. She was found to be unable to stand trial. They gave her time to try and get better. I just found an article recently that says she has not got better in the allotted time, so she's pretty much just going to stay in mental health treatment for the duration of her life. Schizophrenia is not always in effect. Yeah, it's like, it's almost like episodes. Like I believe for some schizophrenics that it's episodic. Like the worst symptoms happen in like brief bouts of hysteria. Like I don't think it's all every day all the time. So I haven't checked since I first read it, but she got an insanity plea. She did not. But we will look at it, guys, because I understand. Excuse me, the terminology is confusing. My whole chest is like feeling flared up. Sorry, guys. But let's watch the rest of this video. Then I'm going to read the article. Well, actually, I have one more video about what's going on now. And then I'm going to read the article from, less than 2 months ago, where the judge is pretty much assuming she's not going to get better, right? The time has passed for her to present mentally well or aware, and she is not.
Tampering with evidence and 1 count of misdemeanor theft.
Going back to case number 692604, Bianca Ellis.
Hello, Ms. Ellis. Do you have an attorney? You do? Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment? I don't. Okay. Have you read it? You have not read it. Okay. We have a copy here. You can read it. I don't want to read it. You don't want to read it? Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you? I'm sorry. You asked her not to. Well, but she did read it to you, correct? No. She didn't read it to you. Okay, well, we can read it in open court.
So for me, she's giving the mannerisms. Everything about her is presenting as somebody who probably has a lot of inappropriate facial expressions. Like it doesn't match the interactions, or it doesn't match the circumstances. I think she might be on the spectrum. as well. For me, it's giving like that there's like almost like an inability to communicate. She's whispering to the judge. Um, Flower, I don't think it would matter if the judge told her. I think this is just a behavior. It's a display of a behavior that says something about her capabilities. Now, just because somebody displays a behavior, which whispering purposely is a behavior, doesn't mean that they're able to control or stop that. So I think she might be on the spectrum. This is what gave me that impression. I don't know if that's true. I'm not qualified to diagnose her. But I do think I'm getting hints of that because of her communication style. You also notice that like when she was talking to her attorney, her body language and her facial expressions didn't match what they were talking about either. So I think the reason why her trial can't go forward, because you are right here, the Go Renzo, this is what's happening, and we're gonna look at all of that. But I do think that even though they believe that she was aware of her actions during the crime, I don't know that there will come a time that they'll be able to prosecute her because she's not well. She's not well, and that means more people are going to be victims, and the people who hurt them aren't even going to be able to be brought to justice, really, because they're victims too, in a way. But everything about her body language, like even the smiling, completely inappropriate. But you see that a lot of times with people who have communication disorders. So that's what made me think autism. Yeah, they can't let her go. They won't. She's going to be under state supervision for the rest of her life. The problem is it shouldn't have taken her deleting somebody for that to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they waited for her to do the worst she could before she was able to receive treatment. Now we're going to see some things about her in the type of life she was living that's going to make you understand why like she was failed in every way, shape, or form. Let's continue.
(2903.11A1) and or endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22B2. Investigation was in progress or was about to be or likely to be instituted. Alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any record, document, or thing with the purpose to impair its value or availability as evidence in such proceeding or investigation. Count 10 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did with purpose to deprive the owner, Volunteers of America store, of property or services, to wit, knives, knowingly obtain or exert control over either the property or services without the consent of the owner or the person authorized to give consent.
My name is Jared Wood, father of the deceased, husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son or anything that my wife and I, even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. I really wish no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible that you can, at the very least. Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you would like to say?
That'll be it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So, a trial date was set for December 2024. However, Bianca's defense tried to argue that she was incompetent to stand trial. And in September of 2024, just 3 months after the murder, and I haven't seen anyone speak about this, the judge overseeing the case actually agreed, and this was the result of Bianca undergoing a 20-day mental evaluation. Just because she's incompetent at the moment doesn't mean she won't go on trial, though. You see, medical professionals monitor monitoring her believe that with medication that has to be forced on her, by the way, because she refuses to take it by herself, shows that she's making some good progress mentally, even to the point where they believe that she'll soon be competent to stand trial.
It was the opinion after the 20-day evaluation that with reasonable medical certainty that Ms. Ellis has an unspecified schizophrenia spectrum and other psychiatric disorders, which presented as a mental condition. I thought it was important that the doctor went on to say that while the court psychiatric clinic from Cuyahoga County may have indicated there may have been malingering of Ms. Ellis, that in fact the doctor found with reasonable medical certainty that she was not malingering, and that in fact she was not able to participate because of her psychiatric disorders. The doctor went on and informed an opinion indicating that Ms. Ellis's capacity to assist Mr. Johnson and Mr. Mack with her representation, that due to her mental condition, that Ms. Ellis lacks the capacity to assist in her defense and helping Mr. Johnson and Mr. Mack. And then in summary, the doctor indicated with reasonable medical certainty that Ms. Ellis, again, having these psychotic disorders with her present mental condition, that due to that condition, she's unable to assist in her defense.
So again, when they make the decision that she's unable to assist in her defense, that means she had a conscious awareness of what she was doing. But now, as she stands trial, there's no way she can have a fair trial because she's unable to recount the details of her of what happened, right? She doesn't have the mental awareness to be able to recall what happened and what she did and her part in it and her role in it, what was right and wrong. Like her current mental state is stopping her from being able to assist in the trying of what she did. And that says something completely different than she's deemed mentally incompetent. That's why I was trying to make sure we use the right lingo. Because somebody who is deemed mentally incompetent, that would mean that the commission of the crime was done by somebody who was not aware of what they were doing. She was aware. That's the difference that I think they believe. They believe that she was aware. They believe that she did many things that people who are committing crimes do, which is conceal weapons, flee from the crime scene, conceal information, things like that. Right? And so I think that's what makes it so confusing. Like, is she mentally ill and that's why she did it? Or like, is she having a psychotic break now that she's committed a crime that was probably done impulsively?
Doctor went on to say, though, that with reasonable medical certainty, the doctor believes that Ms. Ellis can be restored to competency within the time frame allowed by law if she is provided psychiatric medications to treat her psychotic illness.
This wasn't Bianca's first rodeo with law enforcement. As you know, on the day of the murder, she had been at the police station in regard to a previous arrest. However, that wasn't the first time she'd crossed paths with them in 2024. The first interaction with police in 2024 came in February. The Cleveland Police Department were called to a women's shelter to report of a disturbance. When they detained her, she started making claims about killing people in California. Instead of placing her under arrest and investigating the claims, officers...
See, now that's crazy, because look at that. What is going on here? Excuse me. I don't know, like, this is so strange. It's so obvious she was in crises. But it seems like no matter how many agency she came in touch with, they didn't want anything to do with it.
February. The Cleveland Police Department were called to a women's shelter to report of a disturbance. When they detained her, she started making claims about killing people in California. Instead of placing her under arrest and investigating the claims, officers downplayed them and instead took her for a mental health assessment. However, it isn't clear what the outcome.
See, now this is dangerous because they had no idea what she was capable of. Right? They had no idea. She could have very well hurt somebody, which she did end up doing not that many months later. So she already had the criminality, the crimes on her mind. Months earlier, no one took her serious. Nobody understood that, okay, she might not be a threat because she's just mentally ill, but she can very easily become a threat. Right? She can very well fall into a thought pattern that will cause her to act impulsively. They don't mention a lot about her family or caregivers or anything of that nature. But, how does somebody with this many documented mental illnesses end up on their own? Flower said just mentally ill. Dang. Listen. She did have red rum ideation. What speculation? What speculation? You tell me.
Outcome of that was. In March of 2024, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office were called to a hotel in Kissimmee, Florida, after Bianca had tried to book a room without paying and then refused to leave when asked. She didn't have anywhere to live at that time, so when police arrived, she refused to leave the property in order to get arrested, so she'd have somewhere to stay temporarily.
What's going on tonight?
I was wanting to get booked for trespassing
Why?
because I am.
You have no reason? You just want to?
I have nowhere else to go.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through the formality, right? So they want you to leave the property. They want you to, leave, not come back. I'm trespassing you. You're being formally trespassed by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
You need to leave the property now.
But what about getting arrested?
Are you refusing to leave the property?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's cold outside. I don't have nowhere else to go.
So you're just refusing to leave the property?
Because yeah.
You have no family, no nothing?
No, I'm not from here. I was just vacation.
Osceola Patrol 8936.
And up?
So this isn't Law and Order, there go Renzo, right? I'm not here playing Law and Order. I'm talking about what she said she did, right? She got arrested. She had that pink weird outfit on, and she said, I stabbed some people in California. So I'm not speculating a goddamn thing, right? She literally said it. It came out of her mouth. So yes, the thoughts were on her mind. Otherwise, she would not be saying that. Now, can I say that she was going to act on the whole California thing? No. But if months prior, she's talking about what she later did to somebody, then yes, it was on her mind. I think that's safe to say, okay? Safe to say. Let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be, right? This is a case of somebody who fell through the cracks. When we got rid of why we cussing at each other, shorty, because it's Monday, okay? It's Monday, and I just feel like we should have some awareness here and start to try to understand what it is we're hearing and seeing, right? I'm not going to speculate on what somebody's saying, but if they're in video saying, I stabbed some people or poked some people in California, it's safe to say that when they do that months later, that they had already had that action on their mind. I think that's a safe thing to say. I don't think that I'm exaggerating or speculating, right? I think most people would say that's what that person had on their mind. It's always going to be complicated. Yeah, when dealing with mental illness. Oh yeah, Josh, it's definitely Crash Out Monday. I'm not crashing out, but I'm waiting to watch people crash out. It's Monday. So I'm definitely going to be here with my popcorn. So if y'all want to crash out on Monday, let's do it. But it definitely is, but I think that's something people don't really understand some of the lingo and the jargon behind criminal justice and things like that. I think it's important for us to talk about it. Okay, you off the next 2 days. Good for you. I'm going to work tomorrow. Um, Thank you so much, Corsica. Is it Corsica? I see a Sandra there, so I'm just gonna say Sandra. Thank you so much. Yeah, me too, Tommy. I could be up all night watching these crime videos, and like every night, I could discover a new story that I've never heard of. That's why I don't like when people say, "Oh, this isn't news." Yes, it is. It's news to somebody. So, anyways, this is her getting arrested purposefully because she needed a place to sleep. A couple of months before the attack.
I was going to take my stuff too.
Turn around. Hey, mind your back. What's going on with this stuff? This is weird. You got like cloth. Can you move your thumb out of the way? I'm gonna search this pocket here. Nothing in that pocket. Can you search that pocket on it?
You guys want to get my personal ID stuff?
Yep. Take a seat in the car. Thank you much. The jail's not going to take all that. So what do you want to go to the sheriff's office?
What do you mean?
I mean, the jail's not going to take all that. You can only bring a certain amount of stuff to the jail. I'll put the rest of it at the sheriff's office for safekeeping.
And then I could go and get it?
You can go get it later, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to bring anything with you?
My purse, the pink one.
The little pink bag?
Yeah.
Do you want all your cards and stuff that were in it to stay in it?
Yes.
Do you want anything else from the other bags?
No.
On May 29th, 2024, the North Olmsted Police Department were called to a Walmart near to where the murder would eventually take place. They were called to report that a woman had been spotted struggling in a wheelchair near a busy road. When officers arrived, they were met with none other than Bianca Ellis. It was a fairly normal interaction. When officers asked for her details and she gave them over, they were notified that she had a warrant out for her arrest over some probation violations in regard to a theft charge in the past. So she was taken in for questioning, and then you know what happened just days later.
You're okay though? Somebody called because they were concerned about you.
Yeah, I kind of get lightheaded from my medicine.
5221, I'm out. Do you need assistance at all? Or you need an ambulance or anything? Are you feeling all right?
No, I think the temperatures is getting to be just right.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you just so I can tell them that you're all right? Are you from around here or are you trying to get out of here?
Both.
Both? Thank you. 5221 on 3. You staying around here right now or no? Run and advised. Have that back. Just give us a few seconds and then get you on your way, hopefully. Yeah, I guess somebody drove by you and wanted to make sure that you were good. Which is nice of them to,
Yeah, because my phone's dead.
Your phone's dead?
Yep, sure is.
Huh? Should have gone you could go into like the mall and charge it for a bit.
That's what I was thinking, but you know what? I have to figure out how to get me around there.
In the mall?
Yeah, because I'm already tired.
Yeah, or if you go back that way towards Walmart.
I went to Walmart. I already went there. They don't have the case. The cord. They got the cord. They don't have the box.
Go ahead. Copy. All right, Bianca, you got warrants. Girl, I don't know. They're
probably for here,
yeah. So we gotta check on those, all right? You got anything crazy on you? No guns, knives, drugs, bombs, nothing like that? All right, I'm gonna check. Are you able to stand at all? Okay. Do you have any medical problems going on right now?
No.
You take any drugs, any alcohol?
No.
You pregnant?
So, what do you need me to do? You need me to get
All right, yeah, can you stand up for me?
Yeah.
Copy. Is it within pickup? Let me know. All right. You got anything on you at all? We're going to come back to my car, okay? He'll grab your bag in a second. Right to this first one up here, okay? Negative medical, negative intox. All right, you got anything in your pockets, girl? Right here.
I don't have pockets.
You don't got pockets? All right, I'm going to check, okay? Nothing in your bra?
I just thought I was just thinking about that. Fish said, SMH, what's she wearing? I don't know. Her outfits amaze me, you know, from the pink outfit to the red outfit to this one. Like, she is just a ball of joy. Like, you can tell there's something else going on with her, though. Like, this outfit.
Left you in the front, okay? That's fair? Go ahead, face me for a second. Right here. Thank you, ma'am. I don't want to pinch you. Let me lock them so they don't tighten up on you, okay? Yeah. There anything crazy in your bag? So we got to look in it before it gets in our car, okay?
I get it free ride.
221.
They don't usually put the handcuffs like that for people that they're afraid of what they're going to do either, right? So obviously people have been looking at her and just seeing her as a, you know, like a defenseless or mindless even person. But the thing people don't understand is that things that are left unchecked can become violent. And that was exactly what happened with her. This is 2 times now that she was in touch with the police. February 29th being 4 days before. She ends up being released after this day, and that's the day that she goes and does that horrific crime. So let's continue.
Copy. Hey, Bianca, is that your wheelchair?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Although we may never know why Bianca decided to do what she did on that summer's afternoon, I think if we take a look at the circumstances leading up to the murder, we do get some hints. It isn't up for discussion that she had untreated mental health issues and she was homeless. Combine the two, and I believe the answer lies there. I believe that she, just like many times in the past, wanted to spend some time in jail, but maybe had enough of constantly being released, so she wanted to commit a crime so horrific that she wouldn't be released. Her mental health wouldn't have stopped her from doing so either. Again, that's just my personal theory. An official motive hasn't been given, but other than that, I could only suggest that this was some kind of mental health breakdown. And
I think he's right? I think it was definitely a breakdown of mental health, but I think there was a little bit more going on there. I think this woman had been systematically not only, falling through the cracks, but she also there was no follow-up care for her or anything like that. Now, we don't know too much about where the case is going to go in the future, but this is a development that came not too long after the case. You know, obviously she appeared in court. Her body language was off. Her mannerisms and her facial expressions were off, right? And so this is what happened.
3-year-old boy.
In June, Julian Woods was stabbed and killed in the parking lot of North Olmsted's Giant Eagle. Bianca Ellis was arrested and accused of the crime, but today we learned that she was deemed incompetent to stand trial. News 5's Adina Abasada reports on what's happening next.
3 months after Julian Wood lost his life in this Giant Eagle parking lot, the memorial only continues to grow, reminding shoppers of him and what took place. But as this grows, the woman accused of stabbing him, Bianca Ellis, has yet to face trial. Last time we saw Bianca Ellis in court, she held her head low as her attorney spoke.
At this point, Ms. Ellis is incompetent and not able to assist in her defense, cannot stand trial.
Today, that same court deemed Ellis incompetent to stand trial. Jonathan Whitmer-Rich, a law professor at Cleveland State University, says that means two things. The defendant doesn't have the basic ability to communicate with their attorney, and there's a lack of awareness.
Are they aware of the nature of the proceedings against them? Okay, I'm in court right now. There's a prosecutor, there's a judge, just the basic, I'm facing criminal charges.
Now Ellis has been ordered to an inpatient treatment at North Coast Behavioral Health with the hope that competency could be restored within a year.
Periodically, there will be another hearing and we'll kind of report back and say, so have we made any progress?
If Ellis doesn't reach the competency level needed to go to trial within that time span, she could remain at a psychiatric facility for safety measures.
If the judge at the end of that determines that the defendant is a danger to herself or others, then they can be involuntarily committed to a mental institution.
It's tough because, she committed this horrific act, right? And there's no connection. They're not making any connection to her mental illness and what happened to this woman and her child. So they're sort of the people are sort of hanging in the balance. Because if they could just say, hey, she committed this terrible act because she was mentally ill, then at least, there would be some comfort for the mom knowing that it wasn't anything like she wasn't targeted or anything. It was just random. It was just bad luck, wrong place, wrong time, that type of thing. Completely preventable. Yeah, it's sad. It is preventable. I think it's really sad when people fall through the cracks, because the problem is those cracks that they fall through are it's going to come back around, right? At some point, we're going to understand that, this person should have received treatment at some point. They should have been committed at some point. They shouldn't have been just taking the world on by themselves, right? They should have been getting some type of supervision and treatment. All right, so we're gonna watch maybe the last minute of this, and then I have an article that just talks about what happened in November, because in November of last year, just a couple months ago, the judge made a final decision in terms of this trial.
At that institution, of course, they're going to try to treat them.
Ellis is indicted on 7 charges, including aggravated murder and felonious assault. She's accused of stabbing a 3-year-old boy and his mother and a giant eagle in North Olmsted. But this court decision does not affect her charges. It pertains to her mental state now, not during the crime.
So assuming at some point the defendant is competent to stand trial, then at that trial, the defendant could try to present evidence that at the time of the offense, they were suffering from a severe mental illness. And because of that severe mental illness, they did not understand the wrongfulness of their conduct.
If that was the case, Ellis could plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but she must first go to trial. And even then, she could still be required to remain at a psychiatric facility if she's considered dangerous. Jonathan adds that in these cases, the timeline...
Yeah, I totally understand saying, a person is not guilty by reason of insanity, but that person should not be rejoining us in society, right? They're getting treatment. They're in the mental health facility. And once they're competent, they should serve some level of supervision and treatment. I don't think that just because somebody is found to not be guilty due to insanity, that means that they just move on with life. No, you still committed the act, and so should still be treated as somebody who can potentially be dangerous and harmful in society. Unfortunately, it's true. We never know. Just like there was no antecedents to what you did to that child and her mother, I think the same should be assumed. We can't just let you free and wait for it to happen again. Yes, still guilty. She'll be charged at a later date or just spend the same amount of time in a mental institution. She might never leave a mental institution, which is probably worse. I don't think she should get out. Man, that's crazy. No one see that knife. SMH people got to pay attention. The thing is, we're all at the hustle and bustle of our own lives, right? And as the world becomes more expensive, as there's conflict in the world, as there's other social problems that are arising, no one is going to be assuming that a knife-wielding crazy person is going to be at their grocery store looking for a victim. Like, nobody's going to assume that. And if we did, like, we would be in terror all the time. You know, we all have to go grocery shopping, and it's not something we're all going to encounter, but we sure can. And they shouldn't be able to be in public alone. They need to have someone present for safety of the public, especially if there are children involved. I agree. I think there should be 24/7 supervision. If you're capable of committing crimes like those, yes, there should be supervision for the rest of your life. I hate that sounds like very restrictive. I just think for the safety of the public. So, okay, I have an article. It's like a local news article, so not too detailed, but we're going to read about what happened in November of 2024. So this says, judge removes trial date for Bianca Ellis, woman accused of deleting 3-year-old boy outside of North Olmsted Giant Eagle. Ellis was supposed to stand trial in December, so last month, but during a preliminary hearing on Thursday, Judge John Russo removed her trial date, calling her case inactive. Now, that's going to happen for a lot of reasons. The main one being that they don't know her mental state, like where it's going to go. So is she going to be mentally capable at some point? They don't know. They can't tell, right? There's probably questions about her sanity during the crime. Right, so that means a lot of things are probably being reassessed right now. Does that mean she's going to get a new, case and they're going to say she's not guilty by reason of insanity? Not necessarily, but it could mean that too. We have to remain aware at all times. Yep. When did I say I don't want her to be locked up in a mental institution? I said that's not better. I said that's not good necessarily for her to be locked up in a mental institution. But I don't want her free. I don't want her roaming around by herself trying to figure out how to be in the world. I don't want her in danger of being homeless. No. So I think, I don't know what you're talking about, but I have never said that I think she shouldn't go to, I think we need institutions, whether they're perfect or not. I think we need them. That's just the fact of the matter. So Bianca was supposed to stand trial in December, but during the preliminary hearing Thursday, the judge decided to remove her trial date. He said her case is inactive as she continues to receive treatment from North Coast Behavioral Health Care. And that's where the 32-year-old was today when she appeared before the judge over Zoom. She did not speak during proceedings, so she's obviously not in the state to go forward with the trial. She went through her little 20-day, thing where they decide if she's good or not, and she didn't come out healthy enough to stand trial. So it is belief of the medical experts that they can bring her back to restoration to competency, where she will stand trial with the court regarding the charges on this case, Russo said during Thursday's hearing. Russo said the next time that they will meet will be when medical experts have an update on her mental health. So she's not necessarily out of the woodwork. She might still face charges. She might still go to jail. There might still be some type of sentencing or charging in this case. So just as the case is inactive doesn't mean that she's going to get away scot-free, but they are going to keep an update on her mental health to see if she can stand trial. Keep your kid by your side at all time in public. I wish that would be enough. Unfortunately, people are going to have to turn their back at some point, and the question is, are your children safe when you turn your back? The victim in this case was with her child when she got, There go Renzo is having a little manic attack in the chat. So we're going to let him be. But yeah, that's where the case is at right now. Right now, her case is inactive. She can't be tried. She can't go to court because she cannot she cannot assist in her defense. So they're deeming her able and unfit to stand trial. So that doesn't mean that she wasn't aware of what she did during the crime. That means she right now cannot be of help to her defense, and so she can't help herself. And so she should go free, not free, but she should, her case is going to be inactive for now. She's not going to trial. Mediterranean diet says cultural dysfunction in a certain sector of society. I think in all sectors of society, there are people who aren't receiving mental health treatment that they need. So, all right. So the next story and the last story, because we're only doing 2 today, because I wanted to hyper focus on each one. The next one we're focusing on is the case of the Oklahoma City police officer, Daniel Holtzclaw. Now, at the time that this came out, I'm gonna not lie. I didn't have very much information on it. I wasn't following it. Nothing like that at all. I don't have the inside details. I didn't hear the rumors. So when I looked up this case and I was learning about this case, it was at the same time that information had already been released where some people believe that he's innocent, right? There's an Innocence Project, not the Innocence Project, but a Innocence Project that believes that Officer Holtzclaw or ex-officer Holtzclaw was innocent of these crimes, and that prosecutors persuaded, people who were arrested into believing that they were assaulted, whatever. So anyways, we're going to look into this. We're going to start from the beginning, though. This is the interrogation of Officer Daniel Holtzclaw. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, just ignore me. You're going to hear his name a few times in this. So we're going to start by going through a decent portion of this, and then we're going to sort of get into what's going on right now in the case. So let's get into it.
Sitting here. And you got a piss or anything? You can have sit there. That's probably more.
I could hold it. I'm not. I'm just.
All right. I'm gonna right on out. Whatever's more comfortable, man.
Look up.
That'll work.
Now, there's a lot of dead air because what detectives like to do, I'm going to put it down, I know it's in there, but what detectives and investigators like to do is they like to cause some anticipation. So they'll leave you waiting there for a long time to see if you'll start to get nervous or worry about why you're just sitting there. But from what we see, he's just sitting there. Okay, he's literally just sitting there.
No chair for me. Let me bring you a chair.
I was gonna say there's a chair. I was gonna say there's a chair.
No, that I had back surgery a year ago. Rocky's coming. But here you go. And I had a back fusion. Oh, this is about the only chair I can sit in. I don't know what
your back
it does. Well, no, it gives. It's very giving. I'm turning this off because I don't want to And not to be yucky, but it's low back where my back fusion is, and I can put my butt right there, so my tailbone's not getting extra pressure on it. I don't know. I can't sit in one of those. It'll kill me. Okay. Rocky's coming, but I'm gonna do this and he may walk in here in a minute and get this done. Now I know you're an officer, and I know you've seen these 1,000 times and you've read them yourself.
Right.
You still ask me any questions if you have one.
Right.
Okay. Don't be embarrassed of that.
Right.
Okay.
I think I'm already embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed? Why? Tell me why you're
The
embarrassed.
station deal, so.
Nobody. Well, I mean, there's rumors flying. I know, and we tried to do that as kind of quietly as we could.
Now, embarrassed is a weird word to use when you're being accused of being a predator. That's probably not the word I would use. That's just me. Now, he could have been using that because he's embarrassed to even be being talked about at work, to have his personal self being delved into, whatever. But that's not the word I would have used.
Good. And that's why we took you up the front and stuff. But this is going to make the rumors go away.
Okay.
Okay? For you.
Right.
The rumor tomorrow is going to be on somebody else.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So let's get them off of you and get them onto somebody else and get this over with.
Okay.
Okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that? Okay. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. You understand that? If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish one. If you decide to make a statement, you may stop the interview at any time. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I do.
Just write yes or I do or whatever. Right? Oh, you're lefty too. Okay, hold on. You shoot right-handed, but you're right left-handed?
Yeah, I'm ambidextrous.
Me too.
So a little bit.
I shoot right-handed and right left-handed. Which do you
Bat right-handed, throw left-handed,
Oh, I'm the opposite. I throw right-handed, but I bat left-handed.
kick left foot, and
No, I kick right foot. How do you eat?
both hands.
Oh, left for me. Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me and us at this time without an attorney?
Yes.
Okay, right. Yes, right there. Read this out loud.
I've read the statement of my rights and understand what my rights are. I'm willing to make a statement and answer questions at this time. I do not want an attorney present at this time. Understand and know that what I'm doing, no promises or threats may have been made to me, and no pressure or force of any kind has been used against me.
Agree?
Agree.
Sign, print. That's too funny. I haven't met anybody else that writes left-handed. It kind of creates a problem when you're on a traffic stop, doesn't it? Because you're writing and holding your ticket book in this hand and your gun hand doesn't bother you. Well, that's because you're huge. What's your commission number?
1782.
I masturbate right and left. Does that work?
I think I do that left-handed.
Very good.
Well, I am dominant.
You are?
Yes. Okay, look, just like we talked in the car. You haven't heard any rumors?
I haven't heard any rumors.
So
when I walked in the station, I see Captain leaned over, not unusual. Captain Clifton, hey, but then I've seen you in the cab, I've never seen you. And so
nobody.
But I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So just like anything.
You had said, and we told you that there was a traffic stop.
Right.
That somebody made some allegations against an officer.
Right.
They don't know the officer's name, none of that. And you said that you made a traffic stop after work, but you didn't call it in.
I didn't call it.
Where was that?
It was about Northeast 50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
Okay. Tell me about that stop.
I was going westbound on Northeast 50th, probably a block just east of Lincoln. I see a red Grand Prix or Grand Am in my right lane, in the outside lane. I'm in the inside lane. The car swerves, and so at the time I'm thinking, okay, it's probably a drunk person, or maybe he got excited because he saw a cop. So I kind of fall behind it, kind of drifting just a little bit, not crossing lane lines, nothing crazy. So I lighted up because at first the traffic violation I saw at first when it swerved. That was just west of Northeast 50th in Lincoln. And then made contact. It was a black female. Asked for license insurance. Stated that she didn't have insurance. Gave me an ID. At the time, I'm like, do you have a valid insurance or a valid license? She said no. I told her, I just got off work. I mean, what's the deal? You know, why are you swerving? And she says, I'm just trying to go home to Ann Arbor-ish on the northwest side to see your daughter or something like that. So I asked, is there anything on board as far as the vehicle? It's okay if I search your vehicle and whatnot. She said, the only thing that's inside there is a Kool-Aid cup. I'm like, is there anything inside of that Kool-Aid? Is there liquor or anything inside that Kool-Aid? She's no. I'm like, okay, is there anything else inside there? She says there's pills. I'm like, is that the only thing? And then, so I said, can I have permission to search your car? She says, yes. I go inside the car, I see a lot of pills. But
what kind of pills?
I didn't really.
Like scattered pills or in a bottle?
She said
pills?
it's hydrocodone pills, but I just quickly looked at it, and I think I saw her name on the prescription bottle. So I didn't.
Oh, so it was a bottle.
Right.
Okay.
There were several bottles in her purse. And then so at that time, I just returned back to her. It's like, okay, I saw your pills. I didn't see any alcohol. I sniffed the drink, didn't smell any alcohol in the Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, I'm just off work. I'm tired. Get your license taken care of. Just mine.
So she didn't have a driver's license?
She didn't have a driver's license. And I was just like, go to DPS, Department of Public Safety on King, get that taken care of. And I cut her loose after that.
Okay. Then where'd you go?
I went straight home.
Okay. Do you remember her name? That was on the prescription.
I don't.
Okay. Do you make traffic stops normally after work?
I don't, but in that case, I saw her swerve and whatnot, so
I mean, me, I don't.
Felt.
After I get off work.
I know. I mean, people cops say that as have a, whatnot, to have the vision, whatever. But I felt like I needed to make that traffic stop.
Okay. How was she? Was she respectful? Was she?
She felt like she was nervous and whatnot, and I'm like, "Why are you nervous?" And she was even crying. I'm like, "Why are you crying? Why are you nervous? Whatnot?" And she's just like, "I don't know. I'm just nervous because you're a cop and I got pulled over." I'm like, nothing you have to be nervous about. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really want to take you to jail for no SDL or anything. I just got off work. I'm tired. So with my officer courtesy or whatnot, I said her go get that taken care of tomorrow. Let her on her way.
And you don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and go, "Why didn't you take her to jail?"
Well,
You're
that's
less.
the reason why.
No, I don't care. Was she drunk? Did you think she was drunk?
I think she was. She drank, but I don't think with my experience, I don't think she was past the legal limit.
Right. Right.
So,
I mean.
And that's what I asked her too, is like, with your pain medicines of hydrocodone, ever know it?
See, my thing is, why are you pulling somebody over after you're off the clock? Like, I totally get calling somebody else and having them go and evaluate it, but the fact that he wanted to deal with it after he was off the clock, like, I don't know, there's something very strange about that. I'm gonna run it back 2 minutes to make sure I didn't miss anything weird about this.
Okay, I saw your pills. I didn't see any alcohol. I sniffed the drink, didn't smell any alcohol in the Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, I'm just off work. I'm tired. Get your license taken care of. Just mine.
So she didn't have a driver's license?
She didn't have a driver's license, and I was just like, go to DPS, Department of Public Safety on King, get that taken care of. And I cut her loose after that.
Okay. Then where'd you go?
I went straight home.
Okay. Do you remember her name? That was on the prescription.
I don't.
Okay. Do you make traffic stops normally after work?
I don't, but in that case, I saw her swerve and whatnot, so
I mean, me, I don't.
felt.
After I get off work,
I know. I mean,
I know
people,
the last thing I want
cops
to
say
do
that
is
is have a, whatnot, to have the vision, whatever. But I felt like I needed to make that traffic stop.
okay. How was she? Was she respectful? Was she?
She
not?
felt like she was nervous and whatnot, and I'm like, "Why are you nervous?" And she was even crying. I'm like, "Why are you crying? Why are you nervous? Whatnot?" And she's just like, "I don't know. I'm just nervous because you're a cop and I got pulled over." I'm like, nothing you have to be nervous about. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really want to take you to jail for no SDL or anything. I just got off work. I'm tired. So with my officer courtesy or whatnot, and said her go get that taken care of tomorrow. Let her on her way.
And you don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and go, "Why didn't you take her to the
Well,
care
that's
less?"
the reason why.
No, I don't care. Was she drunk? Did you think she was drunk?
I think she was. She drank, but I don't think she, with my experience, I don't think she was past the legal limit.
Right. Right.
So,
I mean,
and that's what I asked her too, is like, with your pain medicines, the hydrocodone, everyone knows that you drink with that, it maximizes the effects. So I asked her that, she said no. But when she was in the back of my car, when I was in the front car, and the driver's seat, I could smell it off of her, but I don't think she was still past the legal limit.
okay. Okay. So you got her out of the car.
Yes.
Okay. And put her in the back of your car.
Yes.
Okay. Any problems there?
No, she was cooperative. Didn't give me any problems or whatnot.
Okay. And then you searched. Did you run her through Unit 800?
I didn't.
You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So did you run her on your MDT?
No, I didn't. All my stuff as far as that, because I didn't even call it in and say it was a traffic stop. My computer was off and everything as well.
Did you shut it off?
I just shut it off.
work?
Yeah, on the way on 50th, I turned it off right before the traffic stop, basically.
Okay. And where did you pick her up? 50th and what about?
50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
But no, where'd you see her swerve, kind of?
I say a block just to the east of Lincoln and 50th.
Okay. She pull over right away.
She was in the right lane and the outside lane when I saw her swerve. And so she saw a police car right there. And so she kind of did what everyone does, slow down, kind of, okay, is he going to pull me over or not? And then I lit her up about 50th and Lincoln, past the intersection to the west.
Okay. When you put her in your car, did you pat search her?
When I came around, I was like, lift up your shirt. Is there anything on you? Anything as far as your waistband or anything like that? She said no. And then I put her in the vehicle and went from there. Asked her everything.
Did your hands go on her at all?
I backhanded her on as far as the side.
Where on her body? Tell me. You backhanded
her waist, and the back portion. I didn't touch her butt or anything, but the back portion and the waist. And then she lifted it up like right here. And there's nothing.
Did she lift it up like this?
No.
Okay. So she never went, ooh, nothing,
No.
exposed her breasts or anything like that.
She asked me if I was like, no, it's okay.
She asked you.
If you want to search me, I'm like, no, it's okay.
So she never put her hands on the car and you.
No.
Okay. Where was she positioned or standing when you did the back of your hand on her?
Probably the front right fender of my patrol vehicle.
But was she facing you or was she turned?
No, she was facing away from me.
And you just kind of did it like this?
Yeah, back there, yes.
Okay. Did your hand go on her butt or anything?
No, that's what I was saying. It was the hip, the side, not the butt section.
What about right here?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
They can tuck a gun
That's
right here.
why I asked to lift it up.
Oh, so she just kind of showed you her belly?
Right.
Okay. Then you talked to her for a little bit.
Right.
After you searched her, you
Right.
put her in the back of the car.
Right.
Then we used to always kind of keep the door open and talk when they're not combative or anything. Did
Right.
you talk to her and get information then while she was in the back of your car?
Right. I talked to her for a little bit, just as far as what's inside the vehicle. Can I have consent to search your vehicle? Was there anything in that Kool-Aid? She said no. Just talking to her, what's the deal? Why are you driving late at 2:00 at night? Why did you swerve? So she's going to Ann Arbor on the northwest side to visit her daughter, I believe. So
Then you went out and searched her car?
after she gave me consent to search her car,
How long, you think?
I did a quick search, to be honest with you. I looked under the seat, boom, sniffed the juice, whatever she's had, and I didn't smell alcohol on it. Went through her purse, like she said, there's their pills in it, looked it real quick to see if their name was there. And that was basically it.
Okay. Then when you went back to her, what happened?
When I went back to her, I was like, okay, I didn't smell any alcohol on your car and your juice thing. And I'm like, what's the deal? Are you really drunk or not? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to go back home. And at that time, I was like, okay, but I'll go ahead and follow you. I said, I'm not going to take you to jail. I'm tired. I'm not going to take you to jail. I'm going to follow you. And let's go back to 44. And you head westbound on 44. So that's what we did.
Did you follow her?
Actually, when I went behind her and we got in the car, she took forever and I started getting annoyed. So I just U-turned it and I went ahead and I saw her in the back view of my rearview mirror. And she was following at 44, but then I took off going northbound on Broadway Extension while she took 44 to go west.
So you were able to see her do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's so weird. He has an answer for like all the weird whys, right? Because he starts going into pulling her over and all this, and she's like, "Well, do you usually pull people over after you're off the clock? Right? Is it normal for you to get off the clock and see some injustice and jump right back into it?" Fox Mills said, "How old is this? This case is fairly old. In 2015, it was revealed by some victims and noticing a pattern that women were being searched and stopped illegally, often when this officer was off the clock. And he would grope, and he actually did SA some of them. So this is a older case, but a very, very interesting one, I believe, because there's so many elements to this. I think the fact that he maintained his innocence, just all of it is just crazy. So we're gonna go into it. Don't think about the time. Think about what it is that we're seeing in the video, and comment on that.
And go. And then did you lose her when you got on Broadway?
When I went to northbound on Broadway and she went 44 west.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like this is the lady. I mean, this is the deal where she's the complaining party. Okay. And she's making some sexual allegations, obviously, because sex crimes is working it.
Right. What did she say?
Well, was there anything, an accidental touch, anything?
If she thought it when I passed searched her, but it was nothing as far as I felt like I would do anything as far as sexual or anything like that. For my safety, I just checked to see if the weapons or anything. And to make clear, I didn't touch her butt, but the waist side and whatnot. If you would like me to do it, just for you to show you.
No, and I'm fine with it, and you have every right to do that. Right. She's saying that you made her lift up her shirt, and when she lifted up her shirt, she exposed her breasts.
No.
Did you ever see
I asked her, is there anything inside your bra? And she said no. So I was like, okay. And she said, you want me to show you? And that's all the time I said, no, you don't need to do that.
She said she said she was doing this. When you said, is there anything inside your bra? And she was going, no, I don't have anything like that. Did she do that?
Yeah, she did, but I didn't look or anything like that.
Right.
And then she was like, do you want me to show you? I was like, no.
She said when she said, do you want me to show you? You said, yeah. And she went,
no, I didn't.
But could she have been, woo, flashing you? And now you don't want to tell me because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble?
No, when I told her no, I said no.
Then she didn't go, yeah, because sometimes drunk girls are
having a good time.
Yeah, and partying down. And let's face it,
I've already heard stories about officers and whatnot.
They want officers for hubbies or whatever.
I said no.
But you could have said no. But I'm asking you if she flashed you anyways.
I didn't see her. I didn't see her breasts. I didn't see her breasts.
What about pants?
Nothing in her pants as far as that concerned. She was wearing tight jeans. So
she said she pulled them down.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see her pulling down?
I didn't see her pulling down pants.
Could she have done it when you were up searching the car?
She could have.
Did she have them on?
I didn't have her handcuffed or anything.
I didn't see her do it. I didn't see her boobs. I didn't see her pull down her pants like I told her to. This man is not seeing a lot. right? You would think he has vision issues, but no, he's just evading what he knows he made these women do.
You came back to the car and got her out. Were her pants fastened? Were they?
Yeah, everything.
They
was
were
still,
up, and
everything was still intact.
so you never saw her pull her pants down.
No, I didn't.
Why do you think she's making this up?
I don't know.
Did you write her a ticket?
I didn't. I let her go. And I said I won't even arrest you for your no STL.
Trying to figure out why she'd say that. I mean, I could see her saying it if you wrote her a ticket because she's pissed off.
Right.
Now, make it quite clear, if you saw her boobs, I don't care if she's flashing you.
I did not see.
You did not see her boobies.
No, I did not see her breasts.
She's saying you shined your light on her.
I did not see her.
Where do you keep your flashlight?
The left side, right here, right behind my radio.
Did you have your flashlight out on the traffic stop?
I did.
When she was going like this, did you have your
I
flashlight
didn't
on
go
her?
like that. But as I'm out on the radio like this, I have it right positioned over us. But I didn't.
Right,
As far as
but
that.
did you have it on her when you're talking to her so you can see her? I mean,
To
was
see
it
her.
on her when she goes like this? Maybe she could have
Right,
construed it.
to see her inside the vehicle.
Was the dome light on?
The dome light was not on.
It didn't come on. I don't know how. Does that come on when you open your back door? It's been too long since I've been in a scout car.
I can't recall, to be honest with you. I don't think the back. I don't think it does. It's with the dome light.
I'm just trying to figure out. How long do you think you were on that traffic stop?
I don't think it was an
It's not
excess of
fast.
over
Just
a regular speed. 15 minutes at most, just like a regular traffic stop. Nothing as far as more.
15 minutes. How long were you with her? How long of that 15 minutes do you think was searching her car? Where maybe she's sitting in the back seat.
Like I said, that quick search probably at max, maybe a little bit over 5 minutes, maybe like 5 minutes if
So you're with her for 10 minutes.
talking to her. Yes,
Did it take a while to get her to consent to search or what? 10 minutes is a long time.
she was nervous and she was crying and stuff, and I told her not to be
Did she
nervous.
say why she's crying?
She says police officer and whatnot, and I'm just nervous because I got stopped by a police officer. So I'm like, calm down, everything's fine. And then so I think maybe with the fact that she had no STL, maybe she was nervous as well too. And then so
It's the fact that he has an answer for everything. You know, like I don't like that having an answer for everything right away. Like, oh, maybe she was nervous. Maybe she was tired. Maybe she just didn't know. Maybe she was unaware of the procedure. Okay? So you just had no idea. You didn't see anything. All these women believe that you made them show you body parts that you claim you just didn't see. He has no other excuse. I don't trust it. That's what makes it hard sometimes is when there's like this callousness. A lot of people talk about how he was just very, yeah, he's doing hundreds of years. But people mention how dismissive he is, right? Like how he's not even like, he's just like, oh no, nope, I was just searching her. Nope. He's very dismissive as if he didn't do this with many women.
wasn't that it was a quick search, like I said before. It wasn't in detail, pulling up carpet. It was a quick search.
Because you're just ready to go home.
I was ready to go home.
Did you go home, go straight to bed?
I went home straight to bed.
Okay. Think of anything yet?
I think that's pretty good. Wasn't that pretty easy? Hey, we got to do this. Okay, if you don't mind. I got to take your buckles.
Okay.
We're doing that in the.
That's fine.
All right.
Did we buckle swap anybody in the academy
I don't.
as a demonstration?
I'll let your name there because I don't even know how to spell it. I can
How do you
browse
say your
somewhere.
name?
Daniel Holtzclaw.
Holtzclaw. What is that?
It's German.
Can you speak German?
No, I can't.
Hey, read that out loud to me.
Yeah.
I, Daniel Holtzclaw, after having been advised of my right not to have a search made of my body, hereinafter mentioned without a search warrant, and my right to refuse to consent to such a search, hereby authorize Rocky Gregory, detective of the Oklahoma City Police Department to conduct a complete search of my body located at 71 Colcord, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Officers are authorized by me to take from my body samples of swabs from my body, which they may desire. This written permission is being given by me to the above named police official voluntarily and without threats of promises of any kind.
Basically, you're giving buccal swabs of your own free will.
Okay.
We do this as part of. See, this ain't so bad, huh?
No, I never had this done. So
right. Stay up. There we go. And you get a free teeth cleaning with your first time.
You won't go none though.
All right, and then we're gonna.
Oh no, he's just getting into it. Like they're asking him like baseline questions, right? Like they haven't really asked him too much. Notice he waived his right to an attorney. He offered evidence and all that. He pretty much wanted to exclude himself, is what he said to them. And you know, they moved forward with that. So he was obviously being open and talking to them and stuff like that. The officer, believe it or not, was doing a pretty good job of like keeping him railed into the conversation without assuming anything was like going on, right? She still kind of made him feel like she was on his side, at least I think. That's what it appeared. So let's continue.
We'll have a couple more questions. All right. So.
Ralph, what time is it on your watch? I turned my phone off. So.
I've got 4:50. Sorry, 4:47. So do you usually do traffic stops on going home, or what was?
I don't. Like I said before, I rarely don't. I usually try to get home because I'm tired of them and shit.
Well, and are you a big DUI worker?
When I first started coming out, I did. But not really at the end now, to be honest with you.
I usually, if I see somebody swerving, I'm whoop, the other way.
And that's a lot of officers do too. So,
well, Daniel, this is kind of one of the things that we kind of bring it in here to see how truthful you are.
Right.
Now you need to kind of think of a few different things here.
Okay.
Okay. We pulled up a lot of video around that area after these allegations.
Okay.
Okay. She also had a SANE exam, which you know what that consists of.
Right.
There's a reason why we wanted your buckles.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I mean, we can go through a couple different things of why we've got you in here, but you sure there's nothing you want to?
Nothing.
So if we go off the video and watch that,
right,
you're still going to stick with your story?
Yes, sir.
If we go off DNA?
DNA as well.
Should we show you the video?
If yes.
You do want to see it?
Yes.
So there's nothing that
everything that I recall of that night is what was asked and everything. That's what happened.
Have I maybe not asked enough questions?
I think everything covered as far as that.
Do you recall putting your penis in her mouth?
I don't.
Would you recall that if you did it?
If I did it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you really, in all honesty, you need to really double think about this. I mean, I got to be honest with you. It doesn't look really good. Okay. I mean, in what you originally thought, detectives just don't roll up in there for no reason.
Right.
Okay. And we just didn't pick you out. Okay.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole lineup there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's definitely enough here to bring you in here to start questioning you.
Right.
Okay. We knew you were on that stop.
Right.
We knew you were there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can watch a whole lot of actions being performed while you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's why she was trying to give you every out on the whole booby thing.
Right.
Okay. Now, is there any reason at all even from whatever angle, because, you know, it takes a little bit to clear up those videos.
Right.
But any reason why your penis would be out?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Now, in doing this, you know how SANE exams work, and I ain't got to explain about DNA or anything like that.
Right.
Now, I didn't say you had sex with her.
Right.
Okay. But getting a blowjob, okay, that is a different story.
Right.
Okay. You see my concern here.
I'm just listening to you, sir.
I know, but I'd rather listen to you and you start talking.
That's all I have, sir.
Are we gonna get something from the SANE exam?
Go with the SANE exam.
Do you understand that you don't have to full blown ejaculate to get something out of the SANE exam?
Right.
We can get skin cells, we can get pre-ejaculate, we can do all that and still get DNA.
Right.
And did your penis go in her mouth?
No, it did not.
Okay. Because DNA will clear it up. And here's the deal too. We can fall on the sword.
Okay.
And say I screwed up or something. But if we say we didn't do it, and then the DNA comes back and says he did it, then we have a huge problem.
Right.
We're here to give you the chance to fall on the sword, so we don't want a huge problem. We don't want a huge problem for you.
Right.
This is time. It's time. If it touched her mouth, if it touched the inside of her mouth for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you got to tell us now.
Look, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in between rape being forced and some old girl who wants it.
Right.
Okay. We've had plenty of that.
We get that. We know that.
Okay. But there is a big difference. Okay.
Right.
But I'm just saying, you know, these videos ain't helping, and I mean, we're gonna do the comparing and all that.
Okay.
Okay. But it's not looking good so far.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't want to see anybody go down for something that there was no force.
Right.
Now, I'm not seeing any beating or anything like that.
Right.
Okay. I'm not seeing that big time, big guy forcer type thing like what we do see.
Right.
But
if it was a get out of jail free card, that happens.
Right.
And we know that happens.
Right.
But we got to know that. We got to know that versus, you know, he made me, I didn't want to, blah, blah, blah. If it's a get out of jail free card, then that's a different story.
And we've worked enough of them, okay, cases that it didn't happen. The problem is where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's why we wanted to hear your version of the story.
Right.
Whether we just go off of what we see and I mean, whatever this tests out as.
Right.
Okay. But
sir, I'm sticking with my story.
Okay. Okay. On the video, are we going to see her boobies?
Shouldn't see her boobs. I didn't see her boobs.
Okay. Are we going to see her pull her pants down?
I didn't see her pull her pants down.
Are we going to see your penis out?
Nope.
Are we going to see your penis go in her mouth?
No.
Are we going to get any DNA to that?
No.
let's switch up for a second. You had another girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You probably not necessarily going to remember the name, but her name is Terry Morris. Okay. Black female. Supposedly you promised her a ride to the city rescue mission. This ring a bell?
No.
You did a traffic stop with her. And she thought you ran her for warrants. Clicking. Drove her around.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Name doesn't, I don't recall a name like that.
And she's claiming the same thing. The exact same thing. And here again, for whatever reason, things are pointing at you again.
Right.
Now, this was before even this incident this morning. Traffic stop, not logged in, all that stuff.
This morning?
No, this has been a little bit ago.
Okay.
This was here just a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay. Anything?
I don't.
Do you remember stopping?
I don't recall a name of there anymore.
Well, I wouldn't remember a
Right.
name.
How about black female downtown city rescue mission? That's what I was trying to jog your memory.
I haven't been to a city rescue mission.
I didn't say you made it there.
Have you promised anybody a ride to the city
I
rescue?
haven't asked anyone asked me to city rescue mission.
No,
Had to-
she didn't have to ask you. Did you offer to take anybody to the city rescue mission?
No, I don't offer anyone because I don't like going there. To be honest with you, I
don't like dealing with what?
I don't like going over to the city rescue mission or anything like that.
Okay. How about any stops of a person just walking, even just downtown? Anywhere downtown?
No. I don't in Spring Lake I don't go downtown. Besides if I go to class in not class in but Western and Maine to Valero's to
Or
fill
the
up.
jail.
Or jail.
Or
That's right.
headquarters, property.
Right.
And you just don't remember doing any of those type of stops?
No.
Not in the last month or so?
No.
Do you run everybody that you come in contact with?
Majority of the time.
But you didn't run old girl this morning.
The
The
50th.
50th in Lincoln.
No, I didn't. I didn't run her.
The other girl that he's talking about is kind of making the same allegations, and that's weird.
Yeah, that's
doesn't look good.
I mean,
it
that's
doesn't
weird.
look it
That's
doesn't look good. So no, I don't. No one with the city rescue mission. Never been asked. Never been offered anyone to go there.
Do you give people rides sometimes?
I do give people rides.
Do you?
I do.
Because sometimes I'd be like, I am not a taxi cab.
I'll go.
But
Have you always been in your new car? I mean, have you ever had it down? Driving another?
I've had a wreck on 20-something King where it was down for a little bit. Starting out was in pool cars, but this is my take-home car.
But I'm saying in the last month, have you been driving any of the older cars?
No.
black and white versus the
I
solid
think
black.
this is the only car I've been in.
Have you ever driven a black and white car?
I have, yeah.
When was that?
Right out of the academy, the regular Crown Vic,
But when you wrecked your car and it was down, what did you drive?
Crown Vic, black and white.
A black and white one.
Right.
When was that?
A year ago, maybe.
Oh, okay. How long have you had to take them for?
Probably a year and a half.
And it's been this one.
This one, yeah.
So you wrecked it 6 months after having it?
Somewhere around there,
That
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Was it your fault?
No.
Well, that's good.
What do you think about all this?
Heads out here. I want you to take this exam and get this over with. I feel embarrassed because going to the station.
Well, that's why we try to handle it.
Right. And I've heard of officers going through this and whatnot, and that's something I don't want my rep to be, about. I'm a good officer. I don't. That's not me. It's not me.
Are you circumcised?
I am circumcised.
Just asking. Do you have pubic hair?
Yes.
Well, I mean, some people manscape, as you call it.
Right.
You groom?
My groom.
Okay.
Yes.
So do I.
You got any identifying marks around your penis?
I don't.
Just a plain old penis, huh?
Plain old penis.
Plain old 14-incher.
I don't know what to say about that, but
So weird. I'm gonna say that is so weird. Okay, like I get they were trying to lighten the mood, but this is weird. Made me uncomfortable. I'm gonna say that. King says guilty. I watched this dude lying through his teeth. He does give lying through his teeth. I think they were trying to figure out like if the victims identified him properly. Yeah, he got like 200 something years. No, I thought that was pretty weird. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I thought the joke was weird. This is a very weird case. Yeah, I think it's a weird case for sure. Because he's just like bizarre. Like, you know, there's something weird about him.
Shut up! You just had your opportunity. I just don't know what to think. Would you take a polygraph?
Yeah, if you want to take a polygraph.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a solution. Do you know how slow DNA is?
I don't. I do not.
Slow. You be willing to take a polygraph on it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm calling. Get that set up.
You, that's kind of delving off different, but you married?
I'm not married.
Girlfriends?
Here and there.
Kids?
No kids.
You're big. You on roids?
I'm not on steroids.
A little bit?
I've been always,
Which I don't care.
I've always been a big.
I'm not the dope police.
I've always been a big bone guy, football athletic.
You got more than big bones. You got big muscles
I work
too.
out all the time.
Do you?
I do.
Where do you work out?
At a 4-star gym off of May, about 63rd.
Yeah. No roids at all.
No roids.
You do all the protein drinks and all
I drink
that
a lot
stuff.
of protein.
That can damage your kidneys, just so you know.
So.
If you did roids, would you tell us?
I'll tell you.
I mean, because we don't care.
I have nothing to hide about that. I've always been a big guy. Always work out all the time and whatnot.
When was the last shower you had?
Took a shower before work.
When you went home, was anybody home?
My girlfriend was home.
Did you live with her?
Huh? No, she didn't. She just stayed.
Did you get laid?
Messed around, yeah.
What's messed around? Sex?
I guess.
We were all adults.
We almost had sex and she was tired.
What'd you do?
So my penis went around her vagina and then maybe went a little bit in and then she pushed me off and said, no, we don't want to. I'm tired. I was like, okay.
That's kind of mean to let it get that far and then stop.
So that's when you got home?
That's when I got home.
How often do you have sex?
About once a day, if that.
You guys have sex once a day?
Yeah.
How old are you?
27.
Well, yeah.
How much you jerk off?
Maybe once a day.
So you have sex once a day and masturbate once a day.
Yeah.
What'd you do when you got shot down at home today? Usually you got to relieve that.
Right.
I know.
That was before work. That happened before work.
You masturbated before work?
Yeah.
Did you just go roll over and go to sleep when she didn't give you any?
Yeah.
You ever been accused of anything like this before?
I haven't.
Not in Michigan?
No. I have not.
You weren't one of those football players.
I
that you
wasn't.
see
I
on the news.
wasn't. I was not.
Anything you can think of that will help us help you.
That's it. I want to go test. I want to get clear up my name. I want to get clear.
Because you know what? If this is a bunch of false allegations, then I want it cleared up too.
Right.
And I'll help you clear it up and it's this. We don't talk. It's not it's swarming around Spring Lake. It's out there.
It's just in the department too. So,
And it's not swarming all over the department. We in sex crimes, we do not run around and go, guess what? This is what we're working. We don't do that. It's not professional. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's around Spring Lake.
Right.
And everybody's gonna know that we pulled you down here. We tried to do it as discreetly as we could.
Right.
But and like I said, there's officers that I'm not saying being with the hookers is right, but it happens.
Right.
And it's life.
Right.
And if that's what this was, lay it out there for me now.
Right. No, it wasn't. No.
Wasn't she would did she offer anything? Don't take me to jail, I'll do this, I'll
No,
do this.
it
Did
was
she offer you anything?
I think she was nervous, like I said earlier, maybe a little flirtatious, but nothing crazy.
She never offered anything
No.
in exchange for you not taking her.
No, she's really worried about going to jail, but
And sometimes they'll say, hey, I'll give you a
That's it.
hammer if I don't go to jail.
No.
She didn't offer that?
Mm-mm. She was nervous, like I said, she cried earlier.
Did she cry as soon as you stopped her or after she was in your car? When did she start crying?
I think in the car, yeah.
What made you let her go? Number one.
To be honest, I want to get home.
Then why'd you pull her over?
And, like I said earlier,
That's a good question, right? You want to get home, you're so in a rush to get home, but you're pulling over somebody outside of your duty shift. No, I don't think they were trying to help him, Shiloh. I think this is something that it takes understanding criminal justice to understand that the last thing the interviewer wants the suspect to believe is that she's against him and hates him, right? The whole point is to build a rapport quickly, right? Because they need that person to feel comfortable telling them what they've done. So I think she was trying to get him to feel comfortable. And obviously admit to some things too. At the risk of looking really stupid, where is the notification bell? So you have to subscribe to the channel. Once you're subscribed, it'll let you click either some notifications, all, or none. And once you've subscribed, there'll be like little tiers to it. So you are not asking a stupid question. No questions are stupid questions. So thank you so much. Yes, tap the icon bell will be there. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Hit the like button for me. I appreciate all the likes we've gotten so far. All right, let's continue.
Cop.
And they are asking him some of the blatant sexual questions because it takes a certain type of person to do the stuff that he was doing, right? That isn't just a regular person isn't just going to be subjecting women to these types of traffic stops.
Swerve, DUI. And if I had to do it, I would have done it. But I didn't think that she was past the legal limit.
That's just, I just would avoid that did you at any time, you said you picked her up around 50th and Lincoln. When you saw her swerve,
right.
Did you at any time, were you always behind her or did you pull up beside her to maybe see who was in the car and then pull back behind her?
She was at 50th and Lincoln, swerved, and I was behind her, so I felt behind her. And then were you
ever beside her?
No.
What lane was she in?
Mouse lane.
Closest to the curb?
Yeah.
Did you ever pull up beside her on this way and then fall behind her?
No. I
Because
was directly behind her about here, and she swerved.
And you stayed behind her? Because sometimes I would pull up beside to see, okay, how many people am I dealing with in the car?
I didn't do that time. I've done that before. But
right. You didn't do that.
I didn't do it this time.
Could you tell if she was the only passenger?
I couldn't. It was dark tinted windows. I couldn't tell.
So you didn't know how many people you were walking up on?
No, I didn't.
Did she roll down her window as soon as you?
She had the back left window rolled down, and then she never rolled it up, and I think she opened the door, if I recall.
Okay. And was it pretty quick that you took her to the back, to your car?
After a couple questions, license, insurance, typical thing. She just gave me her little Oklahoma identification card. And that's why, okay, investigate attention, come back to the car with me.
Okay. Yeah, because that gives you a reason to search if you need it. What would you have done if you had found some dope or a gun or something?
As officers, if you find a little dime bag, it's, you can squash it out, rub it out. With gun, obviously, different story.
Are you logged out when?
I don't know the exact time, but off Prospect, when I about hit Prospect, and probably about 50th, I logged out.
Do you guys, because it's done different now, do you have to go to the station and check all your stuff in? At the end of the shift?
Handing their activity and all that one night.
You do that every night?
Yeah.
Not, sometimes you don't go to a buddy, here, turn this in, I'm going home.
And then lieutenants clear us and say, you guys can go home.
Okay, so you didn't, and what, do they make you wait till straight up 2, or do they cut you 10 to 2?
Majority of the time. Sometimes it's just up to the supervisor.
Okay.
The majority of the time.
And then you left?
Right, that, yeah. And then I headed up 50th, going northbound.
How'd you get to 50th? Just down Prospect?
Spring Lake Station, take a right to go north, off Prospect, take a left to go westbound on 50th.
And then picked her up at Lincoln.
About there-ish to the east, where I saw it.
Any other traffic out there?
No, that was the only car.
What about during the time that you had her stopped for like 15 minutes? Was there a lot of traffic going by? Was there any traffic going by?
I think there was cars I could see as far as going west towards our direction and whatnot, but nothing like real crazy driving by us all the time.
So they're asking him pretty directly about the crimes that he was being accused of, right? They're asking about traffic stops where women were asked to disrobe, to show themselves for him, and then some of them even accosted into committing acts on him. All right, so I want us to look at this video. It came out not too long ago, 2020, and they were saying that somehow there was evidence proving that things might have been mishandled in this case. Now, we're going to look at the appeal because he did file an appeal in 2019 or around that time, and it was decided that they were going to affirm the judgment. And I'm going to go down to the decision because that's the most important part. Sorry, guys. Lots of words you probably can't even read anyways. But the decision was the judgments and sentences of the District Court of Oklahoma County are affirmed. The application for evidentiary hearing on the Sixth Amendment claims is denied. Pursuant to the mandate is ordered issued upon the delivery and filing of this decision. So they believe that the Oklahoma City Court that charged him did the right job, right? They had the right evidence, and he had a fair trial. Okay, so there was some evidence that came out. I haven't really seen this because, again, I just heard more about it and was evaluating the case recently. And apparently there's some evidence that his case might have been mishandled. All right, so this footage here that we're seeing, I believe, is from sentencing when he finally broke. Oh boy. Oh Lord. Did I get zapped? I got zapped. Oh Lord. Hold on. Let me see here. Am I back yet? All right, can you guys see me? Okay, now I'm back. You two be acting a fool, all right? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm playing stuff, and because I'm not talking this is why I gotta pause the videos and give my commentary. Because if I leave it going for too long, one of them snakes will come in there and boom, and hit me with a copyright. This is the first time of all the reviews that I gotten hit. So, so sorry, guys. So sorry. So yeah, that case is very tricky. I'm gonna go back to the interrogation really quick because F those people, they were playing with it anyways. The interrogation was actually giving us context. That one was just telling us some of the new info. Also, they explained to us that the victims were vulnerable populations, right? They were women that might not be believed, right? That's what the times where you guys will see serial red rummers. They'll go after, ladies of the night, ex-workers and things like that because they know that the police aren't going to use as many resources to look for the leaders. And so that's a similar thing with Mr. Holtzclaw, right? He would be stopping women that he thought were throwaways, that he believed nobody would care if they were being victimized, right? They were already, the lower people, the second-class people in society. So let's hear a little bit more. He does get really his whole demeanor is off, right? Somebody who's innocent, like if somebody were to accuse me of something, I would be like, whoa, like you're doing too much. You're like, no, you're not gonna accuse me of something like that. That's not even cool. I would be upset. He is very flat. His affect is very, very flat. Yeah. His affect was very flat. It didn't make sense, and it didn't match up for what he was being accused of. So let's hear a little bit more of the interrogation, okay? And F, whoever crime watches, Bandit got me all yanked off the screen for a little while, but let's continue.
Hang for a minute. Let us powwow. My shirt cut me in the ball.
I feel like they be leaving these people, these charts there, because they want them to start getting nervous. Doesn't seem like long, but yeah, just sitting there, twiddling his thumbs. Doesn't even change body language. Just literally sitting there waiting for them to come back out. Minutes going by.
All right. So we have no misunderstanding because, and maybe I didn't key in on some things. I want you turn in your activity card, walk me through it all again.
Turn my activity card. I leave out station. I go take a right, go northbound on Prospect, all the way to 50th. At that time, turn off my computer, go for the night, head left, go westbound on 50th on Prospect. About a block down, I see a red Grand Prix in the outside lane. I was in the inside lane, directly in front of me. Car swerved. At that time, I kind of fall behind of it. Then initially it lighted up until we hit about 50th and Lincoln. I didn't want to light it up at the stop sign, so I waited till it go forward and just lit it up just to the west. And then that's when I made a traffic stop.
Okay, walk me through the stop.
Made the traffic stop, made contact, gave her license, insurance, normal protocol. Mm-hmm. She gave me her identification card. And then at the time I said, "You have a valid driver's license?" She said no. So I was like, okay, I had time to step out of the vehicle.
Did she have insurance?
She didn't get insurance. So I just saw the ID and I was like, yeah, valid insurance. We have valid license. So I brought her back to the house, the car, and then that's when I.
Okay, what side of your car?
The back right.
The passenger side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So as I was walking her down, I was like, "You have any weapons or whatever?" I always ask people when I step out of the car, whatnot. At that time, I powder her down, whatnot.
It's weird because like they talk about how it wasn't standard procedure for males to be regularly and routinely the ones that are searching women who they encounter like on traffic stops, whatever. But he literally every time he dealt with one of these people, one of the women that he ran, these women that he ran into, he was the one to issue the traffic stop. They even have record of him when there was another woman there calling somebody else to do the traffic, to do the search part of it. But in these instances, he was always the one who did the search. And he just completely overlooked that. Yes, men could search women in their department, but it was, it was best practice to have a woman come and search them. So,
Ask her to lift up her shirt. No weapons as I could see or anything like that. Put her in the back of my car. Ask her what the deal is. She's going to Ann Arbor on the northwest side to visit her daughter, I believe. And then I'm like, okay, why were you swerving? Why are you late at 2:00 at night driving and whatnot? What's the deal? She's like, I'm just going to my daughter's house. Okay, so why are you swerving? She's just like, I got nervous or something or whatever the deal is. So I ask her, okay, and I go, is there anything inside the car I need to know about? And then she says there's some juice in there. I was like, is there alcohol in the juice? She says no. So I was like, anything else inside the car? She's like, oh, you might just find some pills and whatnot. So I proceeded and asked, can I have consent to search the car? She says yes. Go to the car, I did a quick search, nothing out, didn't look up any carpets or anything like that. A quick search, looked under the seat, looked through her purse, saw the pills, smelled the juice. I didn't smell any alcohol in the juice. When I looked at the pills, I kind of quick glanced to make sure it was her name, whatnot. Okay, we're good. Went back over there. Okay. Hey, what's the deal with this? Blah, 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 whatnot. And she's like, I'm just trying to go see my daughter. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to go. I don't want to take you to jail. I'm tired. I want to go home. And then she was like, okay. So basically went from there and I said, I'll follow you around. We got in her car. She took it forever. So I pulled out, did a U-turn in front of her. She followed me where I could see her in the rearview mirror. We went over and I went northbound on Broadway Extension. She went 44 and west. And that was it.
Why'd you log off?
I always log off.
Aren't you supposed to stay logged on until you get home?
I always log off.
Do you keep your police radio on when you go home?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think I have my radio on, yes.
Do sometimes you turn them off?
Yeah, I do.
That's not good officer safety. What if you drive by an armed robbery?
That's true too, yeah.
I mean, or what if you drive by an officer that needs backup and you're right there and you didn't hear it?
That's right.
I'll give you my mommy lecture. So you always log off when you're done?
Majority of the time, yes.
Okay. When you bring her to the passenger side of the car, here's her car. I'm not a good artist either. And here's your car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you bring her over here.
The back right.
Okay.
Passenger side.
Is this where you're having your conversation the whole time?
The whole time when I step out of the car, I'll always talk to him when you had anything on you. So as we're walking here, I'm like, okay, anything on you? Okay. Be careful. I just quick pat you down. Whatever. So go ahead. Quick pat her down. No, I have weapons. I felt or anything like that. I'm like, looked over your shirt. About right there. Nothing. Okay. Keep walking. Still checking her out, making sure everything's good. And I'm anything in your shoes? No. Try to take off her shoes. I'm like, are you good? So get inside the car. And that's when I proceeded to ask anything on board.
So she got inside the car.
She got inside the car.
Did you go get in the car and talk, or did you stand there with the door open and talk to her?
I think I did get inside the car for like a quick minute and just see what's the deal is, just talking to her and whatnot. And that's the time where I think I smelt the alcohol just a little bit on her, but nothing for, I didn't stay in the car forever and whatnot. Just talked to her for a quick, brief minute.
And then you went up and searched.
Yeah, I got consent to search the car, asking anything's on board. She said, juice. I was like, any alcohol in the juice? No. Anything else I should know about before I go inside the car? I'm going to find it. said pills. Okay, I was like, all right. I didn't ask her specifically where the pills were.
Right.
So I go inside the car, look down in the front left seat, quick search, and looking through the carpets or anything I said. Smelled the juice, not smelling alcohol. Went through her purse. First, I saw bottles of pills and whatnot, but just quick glance. Okay, that's her name. Went back.
Now, when you went back, did you get in your car or did you go back over here?
I can't. I don't know if I went into my car or went back over there. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Did you? Sometimes, like I said, we open the car door and we stand. Car doors open, and I'll stand right here and talk to them because they're sitting right here.
What? I've done that. Yeah.
Did you do that with her?
I did that. Yes.
So you're having conversation while she's sitting in the car right there.
Yes.
Okay, but you don't remember if you got back in here.
I know. I believe I did get back in the car. That's when I smelled just a slight of alcohol.
That was pre-search.
I believe so. I believe so. I don't know.
And I'm trying to get this so we can match it up with the video.
Right.
After you search, you come back over here and talk to her.
Right.
Okay. Any cars passing by then?
Maybe a couple.
Could she have missed? Because if you're standing right here and you're a big guy,
right,
and she's sitting right here, if she goes like this, well, she's gonna be looking right at your penis.
Okay. But it was just talking.
Did you? Let me ask you this: did you ever get a hard on while you were talking to her? Because she could have.
I don't
These
think I
pants
got.
don't fit the greatest,
Right.
and if you get a hard on, I'm gonna be able to tell you get a hard on.
Right, and I'm pretty positive I didn't get a hard on.
Didn't get a hard on
No,
when you talked to her.
pretty
Well,
positive.
do you still just get boners because you get boners?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you ever got a boner on a call?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay.
Pretty sure I have.
But it's not something you would
No.
remember. I mean, I.
This is a lot. This is a lot. I mean, they do have to get in the nitty gritty and ask him all these questions because of what he's accused of. But oof. I would have been like, okay, you're doing too much. I want a lawyer just because you're doing too much. But it's part of the routine, I guess. It just seems like, oof.
I would remember if I got a hard on
Right.
talking to somebody.
You don't have a penis, man.
As a guy.
He said, if I got a hard on, you don't have a penis, man.
That's not something. I know.
So.
Well, you're not 50 yet either, so happens because of your age. Could she have missed? Could you have got a hard on and she saw it? And
I don't think I got
scared her?
I don't think I got a hard on, but like I said, she was already nervous and crying and whatnot. I'd already told her, I'm like, hey, I want to go home. I'm done with my shift. I don't think you need to worry about it. If nothing's on board where I need to take you to jail, you're good. I'm not worried about no state driver's license.
Did your pants come unzipped, unbuttoned, anything while you were standing right there?
No.
CSI is processing your car right now.
Right.
And when we stepped out, they found some pubic hairs right in here. Could they be yours?
No, that's not. I didn't pull my penis out. I didn't do anything right there.
Did she?
No.
But do you think they could be?
No, it's not. No. Nothing of mine.
Your pubes couldn't be
No.
right there?
No.
Has your penis ever been out by your car?
While I'm working? No.
Not working.
No.
Have you ever had sex in the backseat of your car?
I have not.
Because, I mean, some people do. You know, I mean, I'm not saying forced sex, consensual sex.
Right.
So your penis has never been in your backseat.
Is it possible any of this DNA shares?
No. It's not, that's, I would like to go at it. Not my DNA.
Are those pubes going to be yours?
No. No.
Are you worried about it?
This whole situation I'm worried about. I mean, I've never been here, never been questioned, especially in the, like a room like this, obviously I'm worried about the whole circumstances of
Earlier,
station
you
and
got to
everything.
understand we kind of see different things, okay? You seemed a little extra worried whenever you talked about seeing her. We talked about seeing her boobies.
Mm.
You sure she just didn't flash you?
I can't. She did not fly. I don't want to say I can't recall, but I'm pretty positive she didn't
When I
flash.
see a pair of titties.
She went like this, but nothing as far as I'm going like crazy looking.
Lifting the shirt.
No.
How far she lifted?
She lifted it up first when I patted her down. She was like right here to her stomach line.
Did you see her belly?
Maybe some fat roll or something. I don't know, but nothing.
Right,
like
but I mean, could you see skin?
Yeah, I saw skin. Yeah.
Well, she's older. Were her tits hanging down, and you saw the bottom of her tits?
I don't know. I don't know. It's dark. I don't know.
You like older women?
I don't.
How's her?
She's 25.
Okay.
What's the oldest lady you've slept with?
Maybe 29.
You ever slept with a black woman?
I have. In high school, I have.
Okay.
Do you have a race that you prefer?
I don't.
You just like.
I'm half Japanese, so I'm not really.
I was going to ask you if you were Asian.
Anything, so I'm not really discriminating.
Who's Japanese? Your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Is your dad huge? How'd you get so big?
That's what everyone asks me.
Because I mean, Asian genes are kind of small.
And that's why I thought I was adopted at first when I talked to him, but my dad's small, 5'9". Japanese people are small in general. So.
Wow. How tall are you?
About 6'2".
Wow. He got big. Does Daddy have some big guys on his side?
He's a family of 3. Well, he'll be with him with 4 brothers, but I think his generation, his uncle was pretty tall, and I think that's where I got it.
I think we've covered a lot of sex questions.
Yeah. Is there anything? You got any sex questions?
I don't.
You got anything of us?
I don't. I just this whole situation and just
It's kind of scary.
it is scary, and I don't want my rep to be. Everything's about in law enforcement. I'm 3 years on. I know that, but everything's about your rep,
Absolutely.
and I don't want this to fall on my rep.
Actually.
So
Why would she make? Because when a woman says something like this, and they go through a sane exam, and they get, you didn't give her a ticket, so she's not getting out of a ticket. You didn't arrest her, because we get those when they go to jail. I've been raped, and have to work those stupid things because they think they're going to get out of jail.
Right.
Why in the world would she make this up?
I don't know. She was cooperative. She was nervous, like I said earlier, crying. I told her I'm not worried about no state driver's license. I wasn't making.
She said she was crying.
Yeah, and I don't. At times as an officer, you might make a threat to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to jail," but let's try to get you some way to get in the car or something. If like gang or something. But that wasn't the case. I wasn't threatening her. I wasn't.
Did she ever ask you if you were going to shoot her?
She did. She was talking about a pistol all the time and talking about guns and whatnot. And I'm like, calm down. I'm like, I'm not going to shoot you or anything like that.
Did she think you were going to shoot her?
Maybe. I'm like, what? And I even asked her, I think I asked her, what's the deal with you and cops? You have a bad run-in with a cop? That was it.
So you had to tell her,
That's like, calm down.
Did you ever say, I promise I'll let you go?
I did. I said, I promise I'll let you go. I'm not worried about no state driver's licenses or anything inside that car.
Did you tell her you're going to follow her home?
I did. But then when she took forever to turn around, I got annoyed and I was like, screw it, let's go. But I saw her in the rearview mirror and I saw her take 44 when I went northbound on Broadway.
Where did she live?
She said she was going to sister's house in Ann Arbor.
Were you really going to follow her? That's far.
I was going to drift off and I might really follow her, but I'm just going to drift off and, okay, she's good to go. So I didn't think at first she was drunk. She wasn't over the legal limit. But I thought alcohol was on board, but nothing where she's DUI.
Anyway, those pubes are gonna be yours.
No, we're not. Please. Go.
I know. We're gonna test it. It just takes. Anyway, your skin cells are gonna be anywhere on her mouth.
No.
Skin cells from your fingers.
No.
Did you touch her body anywhere other than with the back of your hand, pat searching her?
I just passed her, sure, that was about it. Didn't touch her face or anything.
You got to understand, we've had so many people sat in that same chair that tell us all day long, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. They promise on their baby, on their mama.
Right.
They promise to God. And then they come right back. We get back these tests and you can't get out of it. You know, I mean, once you kind of get basically kind of locked into something, there's no talking about it.
Right.
And that's why we would try to give a person every opportunity.
So obviously at this point, they're sick of him not trying to own up. Like for most of these, he has just said, I don't know. Like, no, I didn't see her pull her pants down. Nope, that didn't happen. He's denied vehemently everything. He hasn't said, oh, that was a mistake, or I shouldn't have touched that person. He did admit to stopping all these people after he was off the clock. So, yeah, I think he's lying. I believed him until he said he followed her. You know, he did a lot of questionable things, including following and stopping people after he had turned off his GPS and his computer. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's very late. Okay, 8 o'clock is like midnight for me. You know, I'm going to be getting ready for bed. It's going to take like 2 hours, which is really just me rolling around my bed until I get super sleepy. You know, watching memes and then trying to sleep and then watching memes and trying to sleep. So hopefully you guys have a good night. Please like the video on your way out. I'm going to be doing more like little stories like this. I love when the body cam and security footage, like when we watch Bianca Ellis, I love when they tell the story for you. You know, it sort of gives a picture into what law enforcement and things like that deal with on a daily basis. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for me if you're catching the playback, or if you're coming in as the live is ending. Please hit the like button. Please let me know in the comment section. Engage with me. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. Leave names of stories, cases, other channels to watch, to do content on, to research more of these videos and things like that. Yeah. So I'm going to put I did want to give you guys the link to this video because I loved it. It's 2 hours and something minutes long. I wish I had the evening to do it. I don't. So I'm going to give you guys that. So if you want to continue to watch this, you can service the channel, which will give them a view, watch time, a like, all that. Make sure you guys do that as well. All right. So thank you so much for tuning into my show today. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right. Have a good night.